Hello,
Hello,
hello.
hello. Are we ready?
We're ready.
Feeling good? Feeling excited?
I'm excited. Not as excited as I thought I'd be because it was not that kind of a win, but
All
yeah.
right. I'll be interested to hear your takes on it.
All right, all
Posting it
right.
on X right now to let people know we're live.
Perfect.
Up. Go ahead and put my other song on. We're starting to see. Let's check. Pre-game was challenging today.
Oh, yeah?
Camera challenges, dog
Oh, no.
bath challenges.
Oh, no.
I reckon with the races.
I love it.
Sending it, posting it right now. And we're going to go live right now to Chiefs Chat. Lurking around. Gary Holland's in the chat. Kevin Capel's in the chat. Which chat? Chiefs Chat. Welcome back, guys. It's Wednesday night. I'm here with my lovely host, Hong Force. How are you today, Hong?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing bearderific. You can't see me because I only have one camera right now. But if you watch
Yeah.
on your phone, it's getting nuts. So I report to set next Tuesday. So I'm very excited. Looking forward to that.
Congratulations. Oh, I
Thank
see
you.
it now on my
Oh, yeah.
YouTube screen there
Crazy
that I've got up.
eyebrows.
Holy
Ooh.
cow. Look
Yeah,
at you.
The hair's long too. The hair you can't see because I got it all down. So I just took a shower because I had to give my dog a flea bath. So we're starting a little late because she was itching a little too much. I was like, hey, wait a minute. Speaking of which, here she goes. Go sit down. Yeah,
on
it was that time. The battle of the fleas. We got to win, though. I'll tell you that. We got to win, and the Chiefs got to win. The Chiefs got their first win of the season. Everyone can stop crying and caterwauling and railing at the moon and the sky and waiting for it to fall. Folks, you understand, we went 11-6 a few years ago and won the Super Bowl. Please realize this. So here we are, 1-2. We just beat the Giants, who've been playing some good football. They're not winning, but
They
they're
did.
playing. They're putting up yards. They're putting up points, which they didn't do against us. So first, let me have your take because I know you were less thrilled than I was. I'm not thrilled, but you were less excited about it than I was. Go ahead. My hair's all
Yeah,
crazy
it was one of those nights like I expected us to win against the Giants, right? Yes, I know that they played really well the week before against the Cowboys and put up a whole slew of numbers and everything.
now. Right.
But the first half play did not leave me feeling any bit of confidence whatsoever.
Right.
The second half and the adjustments, I felt a lot better. I felt a lot better about it and about what we were doing. And it looked a little bit more like vintage Mahomes style of play. That offense looked a lot better. I'm excited that we won, but it wasn't one of those wins that was like, "Ooh, we dusted all the cobwebs off.
Right.
We are good to go." It wasn't that sort of a confident win.
It was not.
That was those were my feelings about the win and why I wasn't like, woohoo.
Let me know in the chat, guys, what you think. What were your feelings about the win? We're going to go over the numbers a little bit. The first half, yeah, less than stellar. I just want everyone to caveat. Everyone asterisk to the beginning of this season with the fact that we lost Worthy on the third play of the first game, and we've been down Rashee Rice every week for 3 weeks. We're going to have another 3 weeks without him. We're playing everybody with a hand and a half tied behind our back, and it's taking everything they have to beat us. Do you understand? People are still playing their Super Bowl against us. Whether they want to say that or not, especially the Eagles, defending champs, they would never want to admit, hey, we have to put up a game against the Kansas City Chiefs. We did ourselves a favor. We did ourselves a favor this week. I was very excited when we look at the stats. We're going to talk about that. We have a player that's emerging. Everyone's getting very excited about. Wet blanket here. Not full on wet blanket, just a skosh of a wet blanket. Take it with a grain of salt. Kevin Capel says he agrees with Honk's take, but we needed a win. Yeah, we'll take it.
Absolutely. We need the win. We needed that. We needed to know that, like, hey, we can win, and maybe this will get the ball moving and creating that momentum, but we needed that for sure.
Right.
It just was that super defined W, but we'll take it.
The only other NFL franchise that I purposely ever recall in my life buying a piece of paraphernalia for, or a piece of attire, was the Giants, because I was born in New York and I kind of like supported them a little bit when I was younger on the NFC side, when it was them and the
All right.
Chiefs, and I was deciding who my team was going to be back in the early '90s, late '80s, early '90s, and obviously the Chiefs won. Russell Wilson wasn't the reason the Giants didn't beat us. Our defense was a big reason the Giants didn't beat us. Our quarterback was a major reason the Giants didn't beat us. People, they want to compartmentalize things into these little. Oh well, now we got to bench Russell. You mean the guy who had like 450 yards against the Cowboys a week before? That guy, you're going to bench that guy for the rookie? Because the rookie would have beat the Chiefs, right? Is that what you're saying? Is that what they're suggesting? Your logic is flawed. Here's my thought on that, and I'll get off of the Giants right after this thought. You can let me know what you think really quickly. I know we're Chiefs chat, but it's football. Hey, if you can't win with Saquon Barkley, who just got 2,000 yards and won the Super Bowl with the Eagles, and you can't win with Daniel Jones, who's 3-0 with the Colts, maybe it's Brian Daboll and the GM. Maybe, just maybe, it's the coach and the GM. Maybe they're the problem. When the owner, is sitting in the meetings on Hard Knocks going, You really think we're not going to get Saquon Barkley? You think we're going to get Saquon? It's really trying to impress upon them how important it is. Jerry Jones would have been, if you lose Saquon Barkley, you're fired. Jerry Jones would have made no bones about it. The Maras were trying to be like, Mara was trying to be like, reasonable about it. It's just like, you let Saquon Barkley out of the. Here's the thing: they should go down as the worst brass in Giants history. Just for the sake of that. Just for the sake of, you let the running back out of the building. He went and got 2,000 yards with the division rival and won the Super Bowl. You're fired, and you're fired. That's a gigantic failure at the top. That's my take. Anyway, but everybody loves him. I don't know. Whatever. I don't get it. I don't see it. I look at Brett Veach and I look at Andy and I go, yeah, I get it. I look at Philadelphia's duo. I don't like the coach. I think he's a jerk off, but that's my take on it. But apparently they like him, and he's a good coach to them. And the GM is, Roseman, without a doubt, is awesome. So I get that. But those two in New York, I'm like, what? I thought New York was the toughest place to coach and run it. How are they not out on a rail already? Like, you can't see. I thought Daniel Jones coming in was going to be a good NFL quarterback. And I watched them screw this guy up, and I watched the guy make plays. He'd make a mistake, and they'd go on about it for 2 weeks. I'm like, the dude tripped. They compare him getting a 70-yard run and tripping 10 yards short of the end zone. They compare that to Dan Orlovsky going to the back of the end zone. Not the same thing. Not the same thing. The turf monster got one guy after a huge run. The other guy had no field awareness and stepped out of bounds in the back of the end zone and gave the other team a safety. That's not the same thing. That's not even close to the same thing. That's like saying, oh, I fumbled the ball away, and the other guy threw the ball 75 yards but didn't get in the end zone. Same thing. No, it's not. It's really not. Not even close. Anyway, I digress. Did you have any thoughts on, do you think that's the right move for them? Start the rookie, throw him in there?
I think it's a very, very abrupt early timing-wise in order to make a move like this. So considering just like the points you already made, he played fantastic the week before, so I get it, but why not work the rookie in on certain series throughout the game as opposed to taking away Russell's job completely? I know he's not the Russell of the Seahawks days, but you brought him there for a reason. So
are there any examples you can think of, Hong, in let's say from 2017 on, where perhaps a young quarterback came into a franchise with an established QB and they sat him for like an entire year, except for the last game, and then maybe it turned out well? Is there anybody you can think of off the top of your head?
Wait, that kind of sounds familiar.
This is like kids baseball dad pitch.
They're like red and gold, red and yellow.
I think, yeah, some white pants maybe. Gosh,
I think so.
people, come on! It's not. You're making it harder than it has to be, GMs and coaches. You're making it harder. Everyone thinks they know everything, so they don't want to be told anything. And then they'll make crazy decisions and they'll just discount it like, that's football. No, no, no. Letting the best player you've had in a long time out the building to watch him go win a championship with your hated division rival, that's not football. That's fireable offense. Anyway, I digress. Let's move on to Chiefs stuff. We beat that Giants football team. And hey, a little credit where credit's due. Our secondary shut down one of the better young receivers in the NFL, in Malik Neighbors.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone was talking about us trying to trade from the week before. And I'm just like, don't get it twisted. People can get shut down. Trust me, I have Jamar Chase in fantasy football. Great receivers can get shut down. Great receivers can have great games and lose football games. Great running backs and quarterbacks together, a lot harder to beat, especially when there's a defense to go along with it. Because you're not doing an extended handoff 40 yards down the field. You're going, here you go get him. So let's take a look at the stats and let's break things down before we get too late into the show. Kevin Capel says Russ still doesn't care. He's still counting cash from the Broncos. I think he does care. I think he's trying hard and he's realizing, wow, Daniel Jones really didn't have a lot of help here. Their sum is not greater than the parts in the Giants. Does that make sense? Usually the phrase is turned the other way. You say the sum is greater than the parts, meaning you have a really good team. Even though the players maybe aren't stars, you still have a really good team. That means the sum is greater than the parts. They have a lot of really good individual players. They're not a team right now. They're just not playing like a good team. They have moments, and that's it. Kudos and thank you to Carter. Is it Abdul Carter? There was a play where a lot of teams have done it and gotten away with it, where it should have been rough, and it would have been rough in the passer if he did it, but he could have thrown Patrick to the ground after the ball was already gone, and he did not. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you for not taking a cheap shot on our quarterback, our QB1. Let's take a look at these Giants stats. 22-9 was the final score, and everyone in the punditry, of course, talked about it like, Chiefs eke it out against the Giants. We won by 2 scores. We didn't. So the Eagles had a great win because they blocked a kick when they were about to lose the football game. And it's amazing, and the Eagles are great. And when we did that last year, it was luck, skin of our teeth. We win the same weekend the Eagles did. We win by 2 scores, and Chiefs eke it out. I see the bias in your commentary. I'm just saying out there, you haven't changed, folks. I get it. Looking statistically, we beat them. Overall total yards, passing yards, obviously. Rushing yards, they had a little more than us. Scatterbo went off pretty good a couple times. I like that guy a lot. I liked him coming out of college. Yeah. Third down efficiency, they were 1 of 10. Way to go, defense. Way to go. We were 8 of 15. Offense is coming along. It's coming. It's figuring stuff out. Here's the thing I like, too. I'm going to go over some numbers here with you on running quarterbacks. Guess who's at the top of the list right now in the league? I'll give you one hint. It rhymes with Batty Mahomes. We had more first downs. Obviously, we had a few more total plays. We both teams got 2 sacks. We punted more times than they did, but we also had more time of possession, so they didn't have an extra time to punt. We had more penalties than they did again. They threw 2 interceptions. We called. Here's where it gets fun. We called 3 takeaways. You know how many takeaways there were? I just said 2 interceptions, but there were 3 because they were one of. Well, actually, no, sorry. There were 6 because they were 1 of 4 on 4th down. And what do we call a turnover on downs? A turnover on downs. It's still a turnover. You try to make a play, you had to give the ball up to the defense and that team's offense. So we technically got 5 turnovers, not 6, 5. Mm-hmm. 3 on the 4th down and 2 takeaways straight out of the air, which were, it did my heart good to see that happen. And they were legit takeaways. They weren't off Travis Kelce's hands. Oops, sorry. They weren't off a player's hands. They were plays being made by the defense. I wanted to state, and I can't state it clearly enough. I think I have. Yes, I do. Look at that. I have the first week game. What did we say about running the football? When we run it 20-plus times with our running backs, what happens 98% of the time? We win.
We win.
Week 1 against the Chargers, knowing we're down Rashee Rice and Worthy got hurt early, we threw the ball 39 times. I know. Let's play to our weakness. Maybe that'll. No, that's not. We still only lost by 6. but we ran the ball to our running backs 11 times. Well, sorry, 10 times. 5 each. I don't count the quarterback runs and the wide receiver stuff. The running backs got 5 carries each. That doesn't cut it. We lost by 1 score. Then we have, where'd you go? The next week against the Eagles, the mighty, mighty Eagles. Oh, and by the way, the Chargers that week, they didn't do it. 15, 16, 17 runs. 16, well, because Darius is a wide receiver. They only did 16 runs, but we only did 10. So, and they still almost lost to us, running the ball a little more because their quarterback ran it more as well. But against the Eagles ran the ball 22 times with Saquon Barkley alone, then 3 more with Dylan, and we'll throw the quarterback ones, even though they're mostly tush pushes. We ran the ball, and I kept hearing people say we ran it 20 times. No, we didn't. We ran it 19 times. 8 to Kareem, 10 to Pacheco. You're not getting in a rhythm with 8 carries or 1 carry Brashad Smith, which Brashad Smith's came in on 4th and 3. So the guy's barely in the league. He's the lightest running back we have. It's 4th and 3. Yeah, let's make him do that. No, give it to the big guys. Give it to shifty Kareem Hunt or speedy explosive Pacheco. No, let's give it to the small guy that's a gadget. I didn't understand that. Don't get me wrong. Not questioning they've earned their prestige and their respect. But every once in a while they do one where I go, huh. Like Arsenio Hall used to say, things that make you go, who thought that was, somebody said that was, it's like somebody said, you know what would be good with this peanut butter? Sardines. And everybody in the room went, no, and then the guy did it and they went, oh, that's really bad. We could have told you that was a bad idea. You didn't have to go and do it, but you did it anyway. So that sucked. 18, 19 carries. We lost that football game. Eagles, I showed you, they went over 20 carries. We played the Giants, and player stats, ready for the surprise. Are you going to be surprised here on Forrest? 10 carries to Pacheco, 10 carries to Kareem Hunt, 2 carries to Brashad Smith. 10 plus, that's over 20.
That's over 20.
And
Look at your math.
We won by a lot. And you don't have to be dominant running the football. To their credit, the Giants did run it ball. And I've told you guys this before too. When we run the ball over 20 times, it's generally a good idea for any team. But when the Chiefs run the ball over 20 times, it doesn't matter what you do. We've had games where Baltimore's run the ball 35, 37 times. We ran it 23, and we beat them by 7. We beat them by 10. It doesn't matter what you do, because here's what happens. Everybody thinks, he's focused on the running backs. The running backs aren't that great. The running back room isn't. It's not about the running backs. It's about the running game. It's about making the defense respect the run, because when they start to creep up because they're a little worried about the run, 15 goes nuts. They can't sit back on 15 anymore. They can't go one-dimensional and play the pass all game because Pop might go for 7. And this is the thing I want to share with you as well. For reference, Lions versus the Ravens. Ravens lost the other night.
Yep.
Ravens are a big running team. Do you think they ran the ball over 20 times, Honk Forest?
No.
They did not. Even including the quarterback, they ran it 19 times. 12 to Derrick Henry, who fumbled again 3 games in a row. Hopefully he'll keep that streak going. That'd be awesome. And Lamar ran it 7 times. The Lions, everybody's going to remember that game going, the big runs by the Lions. The big runs by the Lions. Yes. Here's the caveat to that, okay? David Montgomery had 12 carries for 151 yards. But 2 of those carries went for 103 yards. Just 2. Jahmyr Gibbs had 22 carries for a grand total of 67 yards. That's only 3 yards a carry. That's not enough, you say. Yes, it is, because guess what? That play-action game goes bonkers when you got guys running the ball that much because everybody creeps up, and those running backs and wide receivers can sneak out in flats, short depth, do all that fun stuff. You don't get to break off the big runs by David Montgomery if you abandon the run. If you don't keep pounding the rock, you don't get to get a big run. You get a couple small ones, you give up on it, they play bubble defense, and you start turning the ball over and look like half of yourself. And people start saying, does Mahomes still have it? Well, let me tell you how much he still has it. Quarterback running efficiency, right here for you guys. Most rushing yards by a QB so far in the league. Number 1, Patrick Mahomes, 125 yards on 18 carries. 2 touchdowns, 1 run over 20 yards. Jalen Hurts has 117 on 32 carries. 32. Granted, 4 of those are touchdowns because they're from 3 inches out of the end zone, and it's tush push. And he's scavenging his running backs numbers. Because if he wouldn't have done that to Saquon Barkley last year, Barkley would have been. I had Josh Allen as the MVP, but if Saquon got 10 more touchdowns that weren't scavenged by the quarterback, he probably would have been a slam dunk MVP. Then you got Baker Mayfield, 116 yards, only 1 fewer than Hurts on 20 fewer carries because he's actually running the football. He's not going. Here's the thing I have a problem with Tush Push. I know it's this. Everybody's going on and on about the false starts, and it's egregious. The false starts are every game, multiple times a game. The rest, it's really hard to see it. Is it really? Because the camera looks straight down the line, and I see I can count heads of guys that are jumping before the ball moves. I don't think it's that hard to call at all, first of all.
Yeah.
Secondly, they dive head first. Isn't that illegal? Leading with the crown of your helmet? And the entire line does it. So does someone have to break their neck before the league goes, wow, we never saw that coming. We better look at it. We'll take a look at it. We'll let you know next season.
Generally, it takes something pretty drastic for those decisions to be made to change.
I don't expect to hear this music and watch a rugby game. Okay? I don't expect to hear this music and then watch a bunch of guys get in a scrum and try to shove each other around head first. Can we play football? Be consistent, league. You're either about protecting players or you're not, and it doesn't seem that you are. Anyway, I digress. Getting back to my quarterbacks. After Mahomes, Hurts, and Mayfield is Josh Allen with 12 more carries than Baker Mayfield, but 2 fewer yards. Baker Mayfield, by the way, has 2 runs over 20 yards. Hurts has none. Allen only has 1, but actually he doesn't. He has no TDs, but he has 1 rush over 20 yards, and he's the only one with a run that's over 40 yards at quarterback because he's nuts. He's really good. Here's the thing. I watched Lamar Jackson, and I look at Lamar Jackson as a generational talent. Like, he's a difference-making player. He's got different ability than a lot of guys ever had. He's like Michael Vick 2.0, nicer guy. At least back then. I don't know what Michael Vick's like now, but back then it was, ooh. Anyway, but when I watch him play and then I watch Josh Allen play, I'm like, no, Josh Allen's a better quarterback. It's not the same. They're different players that way. They're different. He's not putting the cape on and taking the game over and running through 3 people. When he tries to do that, it ends up being a fumble that he almost loses like last game. Josh is different. Okay, that's just my take on it. Behind Josh Allen is Murray. I always forget his first name. What's his name? I put all on the spot. Kyler Murray. My brain clicked in there. Kyler Murray, 107 yards on 20 attempts. He's got 1 over 20. And the last guy with a run over 20 yards is Justin Fields. By the way, did you notice there's a name I haven't mentioned as far as the carries and all that stuff? I mentioned him in passing, but I didn't bring up his numbers, and he doesn't have a run over 20 yards. He played and lost against the Lions. Justin Fields is 97 yards on 17 attempts, 2 touchdowns, 1 over 20. Then after that, you got Caleb Williams, 97 yards on 16 carries. Russell Wilson, 94 yards on 16 carries. Drake May, 87 yards on 21 carries and a touchdown. Jalen Daniels has 85 yards on 18 carries and hasn't played in 2 weeks. That's crazy. Is it 2 weeks or just 1 week? Anyway, he's been out. Lamar Jackson, 118 yards on. I got the carries mixed up here. He's got fewer carries than. It's not 15. I think he's got 21. I got to look at it again, but he's got 118 yards and 1 touchdown. So he's the second most leading rusher after this past week, behind Patrick Mahomes, 1 yard ahead of Hurts, 2 yards ahead of Mayfield, and 4 yards ahead of Josh Allen. Suffice it to say, please don't tell me our quarterback can't run like those other guys. Mm-hmm. I lost you. Your image just disappeared. It's okay.
No.
I assume there's stuff going on. I'm going to go back to the double screen real quick so we can get off of this wonderful. Actually, Yeah, let's go back to the double screen real quick. Folks, guys, people, ladies and gentlemen, the point of that whole thing is Patrick Mahomes is the guy. He's the man. He's doing all this stuff. His escapability in the backfield is unmatched when he's healthy. There's a lot of guys that can do it. Well, I won't say unmatched. Lamar Jackson's probably right up there too. But he does it by fooling people. He does as much smoke and mirrors as he does with athletic ability. Lamar Jackson's flat out athletic ability. He's going to cut and make you look like a fool. Patrick Mahomes make you think he's going to do something, and then he doesn't. And then he takes off. The thing I love about all these yards he's getting, most of the time, not every time, sometimes he is hurried, sometimes he is rushed, but most of these yards are coming on plays where the blocking's there. The receivers aren't open, and he's like, I'll just take this. It's right there. I'll just go take it like it's college days. And he takes off and runs by choice, by opportunity, not by necessity and fear for his life. So I'm kind of excited about that being part of this game, because when you had Xavier Worthy and you add Rashee Rice to this offense, and Tyquan Thornton, who we're going to talk about in a minute, keeps developing, and you have Patrick Mahomes ready to take off at a moment's notice, our running backs could be Tweedledum and Tweedledee, and we'd still going to be a dangerous offense. So please get all the way off of Kareem Hunt and Pacheco's backs. They're in an offense where they're hamstrung because our coordinators forget to call their name a lot, sadly. But I'd like to see a little more balanced offense. Like I said, at least, I don't care if Patrick throws it 40 times, as long as we run it 22 times to the running backs, 21 times to the running backs, because it's going to make the defense respect the run, and that's where you die at the hands of Patrick Mahomes. When you're worried about the run, Patrick goes, okay, and it's on. Let's look at some chat really quick. Jawan Taylor got away with at least 3 false starts. The officials were very poor for both teams. I won't take that away from you. Absolutely, Kevin Capel. So how long? Throw me a number in the chat. Over under on how many games before we see Jalen Moore come in there and be the starter? Because I'm ready. It can't be worse. I put an X. I said,
worse, but we brought him back again for another year. I mean,
well, he's already under contract, so we're already paying him.
Yeah, but we keep playing him, and the mistakes again and again and again. Oh my word!
And that's where I think coaches and sometimes I think they fall in love with their own opinion or their own original choice. Like, who was the receiver? There was some receiver that got cut not that long ago. He wasn't good. They jettisoned him. Well, just they were attitude issues. They were good receivers, but some of them. But like George Pickens, there's another one that wasn't panning out, just wasn't a good receiver. He was a second-round pick last year, and they got rid of him already. Like, we sat on Sky for like 4 years. Like, we won't. Now, to his credit, from all accounts, he was a really nice guy. And I see, okay, they're trying to make it work. They're trying to figure it out. It just wasn't working. For the record, by the way, for all the Sky Moore fans out there, he's 3-0. Sky Moore is 3-0 right now. Congratulations, Sky Moore. We're coming to get you. Might be the third match against the 49ers.
Tyquan Thornton has more touchdowns than Sky Moore ever got for us, too.
Yes, and we're going to talk about Tyquan Thornton because I have a concern with him. Before we get off the Moore thing, I wanted to make my little stupid dad joke. I did put on X, I said, I need to see Moore, Moore, out of the right tackle position. And I said, you see what I did there? So I don't care what we're paying. I don't care we're paying whom. I need to see a better protection, consistent. There was one play where he just got dusted on his butt like a kid, like getting shoved out of the way by his dad in a house fire. Like, what was that? You're getting how much money? A sofa would have done a better job of blocking the lineman at that point. Just like, dude, like you couldn't have been worse unless you pushed him towards Patrick Mahomes. Other than that, it was just totally just swinging gate. Defense or pass blocking, which is horrible. You don't want to see that. Moore needs to start versus the Ravens. I agree, Gary Holland, 100%. I agree. If for nothing else, give Jawan Taylor a kick in the ass. Say, no, legitimately, you're going to lose your job. This is not a threat or a warning or a what if. It's very likely going to happen. You know. And you know what? If we got to trade him, somebody will trade something decent for him. Somebody's going to go, it's better than what we got. We can fix him. Okay, you fix him and give us a 3rd-round pick, and that'll be great. Bye. Thanks a lot. Jalen, you're starting. Everybody else, swinging. Let's go. We're going to jump over to Tyquan Thornton because I want to look at some of this before you got to go. Do I like him a lot? Yes, I do. Am I thrilled that he's running deep play? Yes. Am I ecstatic to see Patrick Mahomes letting that ball? You betcha. but I'm taking it with a grain of salt. I'm about to tell you why. Folks, when I played semi-pro football, we're going to go down memory lane with Thunder Dan. We're doing that back in the day when we had leather helmets we folded up and stuck in our pocket. Here's the problem I have with Taekwon Thornton. I'm gonna show you first, and then I'll ask you if you understand where I'm coming from. Okay? We're gonna start with this play. Make sure you guys can see everything nice and clear. I gotta get my monitor up. I'm so looking forward to having. By the way, this is the last show from this studio version until the end of October. So I'll be trying to do laptop.
Why is that again, Danilo? Why is that
Because
again?
well, someone's working on a film next month, so he's going to be gone for 3 weeks. But if I'm available on Wednesday nights, I will do something with the laptop from my apartment or Airbnb or whatever they're putting me up at. So I'll try to do something with StreamYard, and so you and I can get on there and talk football, because football's going to go on whether I'm available or not. So let's take a look at this play against the Giants.
Play 11 of the drive. Mahomes pumps, fires end zone. It is caught for the touchdown by Taekwon.
We'll watch the other angles.
Blanketed.
Love the celebration. By the way, love that
Mahomes
Juju's still
squeezes
Juju.
it in there, and
It's great.
with a touchdown
Show us
for the
another
Chiefs.
angle. Sunday Night
He
Football.
just didn't like it, and I think he didn't like it because was that Burns out there, jumped up, sort of got in his way, comes right back and just zips a bullet
I'm going to put it. Okay, let me see if I can
in
get it
there
from
to
this angle.
Thornton. That looked like the Kansas City Chiefs.
I'm going to leave that right there. Now this is the play against
If somebody runs you out of bounds.
What can Mahomes do with that gift? Going deep for Thornton.
That's a connection.
Caught. Big bomb down the sideline. We're all excited about that. We can all agree that's fun stuff.
Everyone in the Kansas City uniform is
Very
running
much
as
so.
fast as it appears right now.
Let's watch the replay. Let's read it all, and let's remind ourselves we have an explosive team on our hands. Don't look at the record right now, okay? Great play. Nice extension. Wonderful. And it drives me mad that nobody that's a prognosticator, nobody that's an expert in the game is saying anything about it. It's kind of like these guys are Pro Football Hall of Fame guys, and no one's mentioning this, and I'm like, interesting. I put my coaching hat on and I watch these plays and I go,
Action. He's taking a shot down the field. He's got an open receiver.
Okay, there's another one. We'll leave that right there.
The 1st and 20.
Don't say anything. I'm just wondering if Honk
Five-man pressure this time.
Are you starting to feel what I'm getting at, Honk Forest, at all, or are you just excited about the plays?
Both.
Okay. This is back when he played for the Patriots.
Counts as a sack for Jenkins. Pass.
Okay, and here's another one with the Patriots. There's Bailey Zappi, our former backup. I think he might be on the scout team still.
I believe he is.
Okay. All right, so those are those plays right there. I asked Jason Dunn, the effervescent, wonderful former tight end of the Kansas City Chiefs. I trust his opinion. I said, please go watch his tape, because the only concern I have, we had a guy who could make plays like this when I played. He was really fast, white kid, might have been half Spanish, up in Canada back in the day. Would make all these great laying out plays, laying out this, laying out. We actually, this will date me. We were getting a tryout, a group tryout at a building in the province that we were in. NFL Europe was in town. At the tail end of NFL Europe's existence, they were there scouting, and some other German semi-pro leagues were scouting because they were going to pay us, which our leagues didn't pay us for anything at all, really. And I watch Taekwon Thornton, and I see this play, I see this play, I see this play, and 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 I said, well, I saw them all in like preseason too, and all I can hear in my head is coaches yelling, "Stay off the ground." Why does he always fall when he catches the ball? We had some guys when I played semi-pro, super fast. You're like, why is this guy not in the pros? Super fast, sticky hands. Coach goes, he can't stay off the ground. I go, what? He goes, he can't stay off the ground. I go, pros don't want that. I go, what do you mean? I'm watching the guy, and I realize, even if no one's around him, he dives on the ground. He's got a lead on somebody. He doesn't try to keep his feet. He lays out. Because and I don't know if it's him on purpose or if it's subconscious. Some guys can't catch the ball very well unless they let their feet go and just focus on their hands. Some guys can't chew bubblegum and rub their head at the same time. Okay? And I'm afraid, is that this guy? And I went, no. I went back and looked at his college tape, and I go, okay, let's watch a little of that.
Hottest shit for me. That's the problem there. See, baby, I ain't you on me. Tonight I'm gonna party with the people that believe.
Series number 2 for the Bears.
All right.
They start up shop at the Texas.
Let's see a little bit of this Baylor Bear footage from a few years ago.
And here's the deep ball going to put some touch on it. Thornton's
Okay,
out
no
there.
one's anywhere near him.
Money,
Stayed up.
touchdown, Baylor. Bang.
That's given. That's a given right there. No one's anywhere near him.
Will gain on second
Guy
down.
around him. Nope.
Thornton and has a seam. Thornton
Look at how fast he is, Hong, when he's not laying on the ground.
No chance.
Yeah.
Touchdown.
Staying upright.
He could literally do Tyreek-like things, like catch the ball and run away from everyone if he stays off the ground.
75 yards. Bohannon to Thornton on the second
I'm
play
telling
from
you,
scrimmage.
it's one of those
And the Bears
things.
are on the board.
It's one of those things like when I used to tell people when I played semi-pro football, I'd be sitting there talking to somebody, and I've been around them like several times, dozens of times. And one day we'd be sitting around eating, and I'd be going, I'm listening to them. And they're like looking at me, they look down at my arm and look back at my eyes, look at my arm, and they stop talking. I go, what? They go, do you shave your arms? I go, yeah. I shave my arms for football. I got to put tape on. I don't want tape to rip the hair off all
Right.
the time because I got reasonably hairy arms. I don't want that. And they're like, huh. And then after that, they can't not notice that my arms are shaved. I don't want to ruin all of your fandom of our team, but you will see and you will feel my pain because now you'll watch the games and you won't be able to unsee. He's on the ground again. He's on the ground again. Guy barely touched him. He's on the ground again. He was kind of open there and he laid out on the ground again. Stay in your. How many times do we see McCole Hardman jump up? Make sure he squared his legs when he came. There's the one play against the Patriots. He's got a guy bracketing him. He could easily have, honestly, justifiably, we needed a lot of yardage on third down. He could have jumped up, caught it, and just went down to get the first down. Everybody would have been ecstatic. No, he lands, makes a move, runs around one guy, and runs it in the end zone. Because he, like this man, has freakish speed. But if you don't stay on your feet, you're not faster than anyone.
Right.
A toddler is faster than you because you're immobile and laid on the ground. So don't take this the wrong way, Tyquan Thornton fans. I think he's amazing. I think he's a supreme athlete. I want to see more of this guy, though.
Single coverage.
This one might be on the
End
ground.
zone shape.
Yeah, he's got a guy all over him.
It
I'll
is
give him that one. It's in the end zone. You want to keep your feet in. I can go with that one. That's okay. See, you got to get those toes in. I think he actually gets two. There's one. There's two. That was a pro catch.
This is a perfect.
I'll give him that one. Because you don't want to keep running there because you'll run yourself out of the end zone. Okay, this one's close to the end zone again.
Excellent play action. Nice, you got him wide open. Here you got to put it does in the corner. Touchdown.
Stayed on his feet.
Thornton.
Amazing. In the end zone. No reason to stay up there. Just go down and be safe. Nope. There's a method of my madness for showing you this video, too. There's something else he did, too. Guy tried to throw him down, still stayed on his feet. So he can do it, is my point. He can stay on his feet. Why are we not seeing that in the pros? Or why am I seeing that not happen enough in the pros? Is there not a coach in his ear going, stay off the ground, bro? That one, okay, you lose your balance. It happens. You outran yourself. I've been there. Usually when you're backwards, but that one, I mean, that's the turf monster. That's his cleat got caught, stuck, he outran his feet. There, stays up. But I've seen him make that play in the pros, lays on the ground. I don't understand it. But we see he can do it. And then there's, okay, I want to get past these, because these are all just more putting home the point that he can absolutely stay on his feet.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's get to the. There's some other plays. Is this the one? Is this the reel? No. There's another reel. I wish I had it. Dang it. I don't have it. But yes, I want to see less of this. Like no one was anywhere near him on this one. And he just laid on the ground. Like what? I know it's preseason, but just jog in the end zone. Get the glory, bro. Just do it. I'm gonna go back to the two-person screen before Hong leaves. Another thing, and you guys can go dig this up for yourselves. I'm not gonna just pummel you guys with tape tonight. In college and in the Patriots as well, but in college as well, I want to see some end arounds. This dude can run some end arounds. This dude runs better end arounds than we've seen in a minute. He runs end arounds the way I hoped McCole Hardman would. Because he's a little longer, a little thicker. I think he's not afraid of the contact. McCole Hardman would stop running and try to cut. No, cutting back is the last thing you want to do because everyone's coming from that way to get you. Like you're not. That's not going to end well. Tyquan Thornton isn't, or at least has been in the past, an excellent end around guy. Maybe we'll see some of that against the Ravens. I hope so. Some deception. I'm going this way. No, I'm not. I'm going that way from Patrick Mahomes. How do you feel about Kelsey? Let's leave it on this before you go. We'll talk Kelsey. We'll talk quickly about the defense.
Yeah. I felt like he had a better game. That Mahomes-Kelsey connection was a little bit more obvious this game. And so, no big complaints out of him this game for sure. But definitely wasn't like the big explosive. There were a few opportunities for it too, but I think that will continue to improve as we continue to get the kinks worked out in our offense.
Someone posted online, and it's on X, and I didn't want to dig for it because I don't want to like waste your guys' time. But they posted it was kind of like it was interesting because they were kind of upset with him. But the thing they posted was like, to be fair, they said, to be fair, I'm frustrated with Travis Kelce like everybody, but to be fair, I'm like, your to be fair point should have like reversed your opinion. His to be fair point was he's more productive right now than he was after 3 games last year. Last year, I don't know if you guys remember, 3 games in is like, where in the world is Carmen Sandiego and Travis Kelce, who is in her purse? Because I don't know where Travis Kelce is right now. And he's not doing that this year. Now, we got the tip to the guy near the end zone for the turnover and the huge. First of all, I think that was the chief football small g gods letting us know what a stud we have in Josh Simmons. Because they're like, we're going to do this thing. And it's going to hurt right now. But if you're really paying attention, you're going to go, ooh, he's really good. he's really athletic. Because he just ran that dude down like a track star. And he's 300 pounds. So I look at that. The other silver lining I look at that with is this. Every time we've won the Super Bowl, there's been a game. Fumble against the Eagles, they run it back. Or going in, they run it back 20 yards a couple years ago. Fumble against the Bengals, they take the ball away. We're going in to make it a 2-score game, and then we end up losing that game. Every time we've won the Super Bowl, there's been a game where Travis has turned the ball over in a moment where we're getting ready to go ahead or go ahead by a second score, and we end up losing that football game. And at the end of the year, that's one of those tack it on the wall, don't forget this happened, focus up. And we need those. We need those self-kicks in the pants, those self-reminders of we're not the king of Egypt or the king of whatever country it was a long, long time ago with the peasant walk behind us going, you're just a man. You're only human. Remember, you're just a man. We don't have that. We have a whole world going, ooh, the Chiefs. I love them. Don't get me wrong. It's our team. And we paid for this in blood, sweat, and tears, some of us, waiting for these days. I won't even get on the defense because that's a whole other discussion. I'll talk Ravens in 1 second really quick. But a quick question, Honk Forrest. Are you, like me, a little annoyed, a little frustrated? Where are these entitled, holier-than-thou, I know everything Chief fans coming from? Where were you guys 12 years ago? How did you get to here that you're talking like this and acting like this and questioning everything Andy Reid does and Brett Veach does and why didn't you run this play and I can look at a play and go, that's kind of crazy. I don't know why they did that. But I can also go, but I'm also a guy sitting on his couch and they're awesome. People are legitimately like, Chiefs threads are hilarious to me. I'm like, you don't even know. You don't even know.
Lots of heartache over the years. Lots.
The year before Andy, 2-14. Or sorry, 4-12. I don't want to besmirch Romeo Cornell. 4-12. Okay?
Oof.
Like, come on, people. Let's get real. We're not 30, 40-year champs. We're like, we're hitting our apex right now. Patrick Mahomes is undefeated as a 30-year-old quarterback, folks. Stick that in your pipe and smoke it, NFL world. Undefeated as a 30-year-old quarterback. Hopefully until next year. Hopefully until next season. Give me your thoughts, your encapsulated 2-minute thoughts. If you have more time, let me know. But I assume you're hard out. Okay, so give me your
Yeah.
2-minute
Yeah.
thoughts on the Ravens and the Chiefs this week, and finish it off with say whatever you feel, and then finish it off with a score and takeaways and that fun stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I think that it's going to be fun to watch Patrick Mahomes versus Lamar Jackson, as
Always.
always, of
Yeah.
course, right? Two MVPs, elite AFC teams here. So that's going to be a rivalry that will deliver. And I think it'll be a lot more exciting than what we watched this last week
Yes.
with our gameplay, of course. So I think Mahomes has the edge here this week. So
Yeah.
in their head-to-heads here, Mahomes has thrown 13 touchdowns to just 2 interceptions. So well, and there's these things where we're going to be looking at Travis Kelce to see if he continues to improve and that connection that they have there. So
We're
I'm
also
excited.
6-1 versus the Ravens, and that one was a
Correct.
fumble
That
setting up a field goal that shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
We should have been 7-0.
No,
We're 6-1.
And then, of course, the run game. I know that we saw mass improvements in the run game this week. I want to see that continue to improve. I want to see Pops continue to do what we know that he can do. And I want to see that happen and just get that run game rolling this week. So, and then the defense has been playing lights out. And I want to see that defense against Lamar Jackson and that offense. And I want to see us hold them, contain them, and do all the things to really frustrate and upset them. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I think this will be a tight one. But I think that we can pull this off. Like 27-23 is my score prediction.
So close. I'm going to go 27-24. I'm
Oh,
going to go
okay.
27-24. I think it's going to be that close that we win.
I like it.
I say we sack him 3 times. And I
Okay.
think it's going to be 2 turnovers, and one of them is going to be another Derrick Henry fumble. He fumbled his feet, folks. Did you see it on the sideline? He went to slam his helmet down and fell on his butt. He looked like he was going to cry. I was like, wow. I wanted to give him a hug and I wanted to laugh at the same time. So I was like, but I think we're going to have a really good battle on our hands. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. We are one of the few defenses that do give Lamar Jackson a hard time, that do give Derrick Henry a hard time typically. I hope we keep that up. I hope our secondary keeps improving the way they did this past week. And I hope this is – I'm glad Chris Jones got off the schneid. He got his sack last week. Way to go.
Yeah.
Sack Nation rotation. Let's get it going. And finally, I want to see a Travis Kelce coming out party and a Tyquan Thornton continuing after the catch for a touchdown on a long run. That's all I want. I don't think I'm asking too much. That's all.
Not
Just
asking too much whatsoever.
75 things. That's all I want. Entitled fans. Next week on Chiefs Chat, Entitled fans. All right, Hong, it's been great. Thanks for being here again. As always, guys in the chat, thank you, guys and gals. Share the channel, hit the like and subscribe, tap the notification bell. I didn't forget to say it this time. Sponsors that don't exist. Anyway, enjoy your week. Enjoy your time. I'll try to come at you next week via my laptop in the wood, but I'm also going to be in the mountains, so I don't know what's going to happen. I'll let this lady know, and she can tweet you guys and go, yeah, he's not coming.
There we go.
Or whatever happens.
There we go.
In the meantime, as always, the magic 2 words, the golden voice.
Go Chiefs.
Go Chiefs.
Your pain runs deep. My pain. Let us explore it together.